Hi guys, how are you doing? Thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to show you some of these lovely mica powders in this new mould that's coming this week. This is a snowman Christmas tree hanging decor mould, and all I'm doing is simply painting in some beautiful mica powders. So I've got my ever famous beautiful Polar Light. This is a chameleon shifting pigment powder and she's absolutely beautiful. She shifts from like a Christmassy green under the light. She's very special, so I'm definitely popping some of that all around my edges in my hanging decor mould. And then I've picked out definitely Coral Island for this one, because Coral Island is a great cold green that's going to suggest frosty iciness, as is Purple Rinse. My children named this one after my grandmother, who has always had a purple wash. She's not around anymore, but we name the pigments ourselves at home, and they suggested that it needed to be named Purple Rinse after Granny's hairdo. Porcupine, my littlest named that one after we had a big discussion about whether telling porcupines is the same as telling fibs and what's the difference, so we called it Porcupine. And then Secret Gold is a really beautiful pigment that suggests, it's a little bit like interference gold, if you like. If you've ever used beautiful interference gold in your resin and mixed media projects, this is your go-to. It is an absolute stunning cosmetic grade gold shifting pigment. You can use it in all your mixed medias. You can make paint from it, you can use it in candle making, soap making, polymer clay, you can stencil with it, paint with it, you name it. It's a really good all-rounder. Definitely going in to my snowman mould, but for me, I can't get enough of this one. It's going to look beautiful. I'm trying to get the sides as well as the edges and the bottom. If you've been recently watching and subscribing to my YouTube channel, I'm so grateful. It's very new to me. I don't do it very often, but I'm finding more and more friends over here, so I'm so grateful for that, guys. I shall try and be doing a little bit more. So you can blow the excess powder out if you want to. I tend to leave it. It'll capture when the resin's poured on top of it, so it'll look very beautiful. This is our Frosty the Snowman. Look at that. You can already see that it's going to be pretty. So I'm going to mix up some resin. I'm going to be using Apex 1 coat today. There is a code for that, which is Lou, if you ever want to get your Apex resins. I'm always grateful if the code is used, and I'll put all the details in the description as well, guys. So let me mix up some resin. So I want to carry on with my cold theme, and I'm going to use my very popular Puffball White, super bold white pigment that's going to give you a really gorgeous opaque finish. So I'm just going to mix that in to about half of my resin mix. This is a nice easy pour, a great pour if you're new to the resin world. I always forget to not mix gently. I mean, of course, with Apex resin, if you've warmed it up properly, you're going to be absolutely fine. But if you're stirring far too fast, like you're whisking a cake, you just end up putting bubbles in your resin, so don't do that. And then I'm going to use my ever so lovely Mindful glitter, which is just super. I've actually got one that's already open here. Look at that. Sparkly iridescent shards, and I'm going to be quite generous. I want lots and lots, so I'm going to put 2 giant scoops into my mix. Isn't that pretty? You can see that lilac there, which is going to pick up on some of our Frosty the Snowman. So I am definitely going to add more sparkle around my snowman, and then I can always fill it up with some of my Puffball White. So definitely want to kind of alternate the sparkle. So we'll have a bit here. You'll have a steady hand, which is why it's a really good idea to pour your resin as soon as you've made it, because as we know, when the resin starts to cure, it's going to become a little bit thicker in viscosity, which makes it harder to pour. Ooh. Steady hands. Love that. Come on in with a little bit of white. And if you have a really shaky hand, I do see sometimes people will use a large syringe to decanter the resin into such a small fiddly mould. I've never done that, but it looks like it's a great idea, especially if you find as soon as you go to pour you get a shaky hand. There's nothing more frustrating than getting the resin everywhere but in the mould. I'm just going to top it up now with white on top of that sparkle. And if you wanted to make this into a really professional finished piece, you might find that you'd prefer to not fill the mould right to the top, but maybe you would quite like to leave a little bit, a few mils short of the mould, let it set, and then if you want to put a one-coloured backdrop on top to hide all of these bits and bobs, that would be a really good plan. I'm not going to do that today because I'm too excited and I want to demould. And of course I've used the one coat resin, so I'm going to be able to demould this today. It is a shallower pour, so you will find it being a little bit bendy if you demould it too soon. So do check. I'm going to demould this evening, so in about 8 hours time. And I'm going to come back and show you that as well. Morning guys, we're back and it's the next day actually. I was going to come back last night, but I've decided to do it this morning. It's going to be perfect for us to demould. I'm going to have a little look and see how our Frosty the Snowman has come out. Oh wow, he's so pretty that you can see the iridescence of the polar light on that edge. Oh, I love that sound. Oh, look at him. It's hard to pick it up on the camera, but he is very, very sparkly. Very sparkly, but not too much, if that makes sense. It doesn't really, does it? But you know what I mean. It's subtle and really, really pretty. I'm going to put some ribbon through there, and they're really giant size. They'd make great additions to the tree. Oh, I love that. It's come out really, really well. I've just popped some ribbon on him as well, and he looks so good. I'm so pleased with it. Okay, I'm back. I just can't leave things alone. I wish I could, but I can't. I think this little snowman tree is begging for flourish paste. So that's what I'm going to do. Don't get this on your hands, guys. It's super, super staining. What you'll want to do is put some gloves on. Give it a good stir. And when you do it back up as well, don't put the lids on too tightly because the sealant in here is super sealing, if that is even a thing. You'll struggle to get your lids off if you do them up too tight. So I thought I would give him some little gloves with the flourish. Look at that. Oh, you see, I'm going to get a cocktail stick just to perfect my details. Ah, perfect. I think what we'll use is a cocktail stick just to fine line the details. Let me go and get one. Okay, I can just kind of make his gloves look a little bit more detailed with a cocktail stick. So I've kind of made them look like they're fluffy gloves. Perfect. And of course we can do the hat as well. Should we do the hat? I'll do the hat so you can see what it looks like, but I don't think the hat is necessary. So let's pop it on. I've learnt so many times now that this stuff on my hands is a real pain to get off, so I'm being good, I'm being good. Wow, it's super, look at him. And if you want to be really precise when that's dry, you can do the sides as well. But I think that looks so good. And definitely needs some buttons. And that is done. Definitely done for now. I think I'm going to go and make some more. I fancy making black and pink next. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Guys, I'm so sorry I couldn't leave him alone. If any of you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm a sucker for putting more and more and more on, and I have done that with my snowman and the goddess flakes. Look! Trying to get a good shot for you. So I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to break away the excess flakes, and he is going to look so good. Finished, and I promise he's definitely finished this time, but look at that flake! So pretty!